Yeah, so check out the new place. We've got the kitchen. We're going to get a brand new table. I've got the game room. We're going to put a pool table down here. It's going to be lit. We've got the upstairs. This is my room. And last but not least, we've got this beautiful, beautiful view. So it was September, and I had freshly moved out from my mother's place. For the first time in my life, at 21 years old, I was out on my own. I moved out with 3 roommates, and the first week we were there, I was getting everything unpacked, and lo and behold, there was a fire right across the river from where I lived. So that was interesting. October was 1 month away, which meant it was going to be Halloween, and I wanted to do something special for it. I wanted to make some spooky song, and accompany it with some kind of lyric video. I had never done an animated music video for my own music, and I really wanted to experiment with that, so I started working on it. Let's get to work. So what's the idea here? Let's gather some inspiration from the world around us. The sky was smoky and orange, and everything had a red tint to it. It was honestly one of the craziest things I had experienced. I was in a new house. I wanted to take pictures of random parts of the house and draw monsters into the pictures. And so you're in this house and you kind of go through all the rooms as you're somehow being haunted by these phantoms and these ghosts around the corner. The overall vibe I think I'm going to go for is something being very wrong and unfamiliar. So let's think of some imagery that we can associate with this song. Door. Puzzle pieces. Orange sky. Ghosts. A house full of monsters. And I want the composition to be something that goes straight forward. No repeating parts. It takes you from the beginning to the end of the story. I kind of like to create metaphors when I'm doing stuff like this. Being that I was living in a new place with people I had never lived with before, it was something that I kind of drew inspiration from. The ghosts kind of represent the unfamiliar people. I decided to write about a hole in the moon, indicating that something is incredibly wrong. The puzzle piece face kind of represented not feeling like a complete or put together person, and constantly shifting identities. I have moved a lot in my life, and this is a very familiar thing for me, to kind of feel like you're constantly changing and not put together all the way, especially being that I'm in my early 20s and I haven't figured myself out. I mean, let's be honest, which also kind of went hand in hand with the room changing shapes. I'm constantly moving rooms, I'm constantly moving homes. I constantly like to rearrange my room until I find something that works. And so I find that my living space is always changing, it's modular. And so I decided to write about that and put it kind of in a spooky context. So let's take a look at some of the sounds I got. I want to keep it kind of funky, kind of light. A nice syncopated drum groove that I want to just keep looping most of the song. You know, put a keyboard on here. Don't tell anyone it's FL keys. I mean, let's be real, like, it really doesn't matter what you use, as long as you're able to play the instrument and use it in a context. That is good. Especially if you have some effects to put on there, no one will recognize it, let's be honest. I kind of want to keep it groovy, so I'm going to put a bass guitar in here. Make it sound all rubbery. We gotta get the organ in here, you know, keep it spooky. Some bells. The horror sounds. Like it's in a movie trailer. We got those heavy drums. Whenever I create a song, I kind of like to associate it with a certain color palette. So this song, let's listen to it for a second. Kind of reminds me of like dark blues, not too saturated, black, reds, yellows. That was kind of what I was picking up from it. So I'm going to stick with a palette that's pretty much consistent. I'm going to make it a little bit sketchy. And then I just want to throw everyone for a loop at the end. Kind of like a good horror movie where the character comes to a climax and, stabbed to death or something. I don't know. It's spooky. It's Halloween, okay? And so, here's the concept.
You wake in a haze. Something doesn't feel right. The sky is orange. You're in a strange new place. Every corner is dark and unfamiliar. Creatures start to pop up everywhere you go. And all you have is the sweet door of your room to hide behind. A group of sinister figures assures you they mean no harm, but their twisted smiles say otherwise. Is this even your home? Did you wake up in the right dimension? It must be a dream. It must be my mind.